Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the MPN 101 community call today. My name is Chinmay Bhavani Shankar, and I simplify the Microsoft Partner Program for the U.S. partner audience one topic at a time. As part of the U.S. Partner Experience team, my job is to make sure that you understand all the benefits that you have available as part of the partner program so that you are not leaving any money on the table whatsoever. Today, before we dive into the actual bulk of the topic, I want to make sure that our objective is clear. The objective of today's call is to understand the Microsoft Partner Program and make the resources work for you and help you achieve your goals. So as long as you are clear on what your goals are and what you need help with, you can use those lenses to kind of see what resources will apply to you best as we go through the next half an hour to 40 minutes. The value of partnering with Microsoft is in the expertise, the opportunities, the tools, and mainly the community that we connect you with. We help you differentiate your business by being a member of the huge Microsoft Partner Program. We help you optimize your operations by giving you internal use licenses, access to support and technical pre-sales and deployment services. We help you modernize your sales and marketing through resources like Smart Partner Marketing, Marketing SureStep, Partner Marketing Center. And we help you deliver customer lifetime value through programs like the Cloud Solution Provider Program or FastTrack. And in addition to all this, the key differentiation is also in the expertise that you get by passing certifications and attaining competencies, which we'll talk about in just a second. And before we do that, I'd like you to take a step back and evaluate your business. As I said, you can make the most of this call and the content that will be presented if you know what you're looking for. What is your value proposition? What do you do differently than your peers? Think about your business roadmap. What do you want to achieve in the next year, in the next 5 years? And figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are so that based on that, you can understand which resource to put most of your energy in. The first pillar, so that value of partnering with Microsoft, I like to group it by 4 different pillars, the first one being differentiation. The Microsoft Partner Network has 3 membership options. Network membership, it's free. You have access to training, access to marketing resources. With an action-packed subscription, in addition to what you get with a network membership, you get access to internal use licenses that you can use for your organizational running, and you have access to dedicated support. A competency is an earned designation, and that comes in 2 levels, silver and gold, with incremental benefits for each of those levels. An action-packed subscription, you pay about $475 a year. There are no exams or assessments whatsoever, so you pay for Microsoft software, basically. And this is ideal for either small businesses with 10 or fewer employees, or for independent software vendors, or for someone who's just getting started in the Microsoft partner ecosystem so you can get a hang of it. It's a yearly subscription to software support and benefits, and it's a good way to begin with building your Microsoft practice. There are 18 different competencies today. And I say today is because the Microsoft Partner Program does keep evolving and changing. So there were about 12 competencies that were retired a couple years ago, and you'll have plenty of time if there are any changes to any of these competencies. But there are 18 competencies today, each of them with their own set of requirements, each of them built around a solution or a cloud product offering. And of those 18 competencies, there are 6 cloud performance competencies. So there are 4 steps to attaining a cloud competency. You'll demonstrate sales performance, pass technical exams, provide customer evidence, and pay the fees. And in return, you get access to unlimited cloud support in the product that you have a cloud competency in. You get additional software licenses and Azure credit for internal use and development. One of the questions was, how do I activate my Azure internal use licenses? And we'll get to that once we get to internal use licenses. You get eligibility to partner incentives with a competency, and you get guaranteed account coverage, which means you get someone at Microsoft hand-holding you through your partner journey if you get a gold cloud competency. And there are 5 cloud competencies listed here. Microsoft Dynamics 365 has another competency called Cloud Business Applications that was very recently released. So around Office 365, there is cloud productivity, small and mid-market cloud solutions competencies. Around Azure, there is cloud platform. Around Dynamics CRM, there's the cloud customer relationship management competency. And around enterprise mobility and security, there's the enterprise mobility management competency. And I would like to highlight just the cloud competency benefits, and almost all competencies have their own set of benefits. So there's a set of core benefits that I show here, and this comes with any competency really, except for signature cloud support. It's only specific to cloud competencies. But product support incidents, phone support, technical pre-sales deployment, and MSDN subscriptions, the logo, you get with any competency really. And then you get incremental benefits with a cloud competency or with any competency that you get. So this is just an example and highlights of what you would get with these specific cloud competencies. For example, with a small and mid-market cloud solutions competency, in addition to the Office 365 demo tenant that you get as a core benefit, you get additional Office 365 E3 seats. If you have a cloud productivity competency, you get additional E5 Office 365 seats. So based on the competency, you get incremental benefits and licenses for internal use. And if you are interested in getting a cloud competency, the Cloud Enablement Desk is a service that gives you access to a cloud program specialist, so a person who is well-versed in helping you build a cloud practice. You get access to them for about 6 months. This specialist will guide you through the steps required to build your cloud practice and eventually achieve a cloud competency. It is absolutely free. You can nominate yourself, the only requirement being that you are an active member with an MPN ID and you're willing to invest the time and resources to get the competency once you get to that point. And the first step of attaining a competency was getting recognition for your cloud performance. So you'll have to demonstrate sales performance. There are 2 ways. Partner association basically is the generic term used for that. So we want to make sure that your cloud consumption is accurately reflected. So a customer's subscription is linked to you. That is what partner association is. Now, we look at the transacting partners within the internal Microsoft sales system. So if you are a transacting partner, you already have that link built in. You don't have to do anything about it. But your customers can also assign you as the delegated admin. So that links you to a customer subscription. And you can also become the digital partner of record, which also links you to a Microsoft Cloud subscription. But digital partner of record is the only way you can qualify for incentives. Both digital partner of record and the 2 partner association methods qualify you for a silver or gold competency. The second step was to pass technical exams and certifications. So you can find Microsoft certifications, you can find online or in-person courses and register for exams and explore free training on learningportal.microsoft.com. It's your one gateway to kind of go and find everything that's related to getting a certification or getting help to attain a certification. And US specifically has the hot sheet, which is the one calendar for all in-person and virtual US partner events. So for the next 2 months, you can find out what events are planned, and this keeps getting constantly updated, so you can plan ahead. And another question that I got in the survey, in the registration, was how do I associate myself to an organization? Now, just to break it down for you, when you pass a certification or an exam, you are a Microsoft certified professional and you have an ID that is associated to you as an individual who passed a certification. So MCP, Microsoft Certified Professional ID. It is important that you associate that with the Microsoft Partner Network ID for your organization so that Microsoft knows that your organization has 10 certified individuals or 20 certified individuals. And then when you're looking at getting a competency, all of that information is already in there, which means you're making progress towards a competency already. Now, this is specifically useful if you have a hiring run where you are hiring employees and they might already have certifications that might get you closer to a competency versus not. And it's also useful if you're an individual and if you're moving from one company to the other, make sure your next company gets that credit for your certification. I want to pause here really quickly if there are any questions. All right, I don't see any. Now, the second pillar was optimizing your operations. Now, this is where internal use rights comes into picture. There are enough internal use licenses to support up to 10 employees with an action pack subscription. Internal use licenses can support up to 25 employees with a silver competency and up to 100 employees with a gold competency. These are specifically with the competencies, these are stackable. So if you get multiple silver competencies or multiple gold competencies, the licenses can be stackable with country limits and worldwide limits, of course. You cannot move from an action pack to a competency mid-year and stack those up because those are two completely different branches of membership, if you will. And if you go to the internal use right portal, you will find support articles and videos on how to activate your internal use licenses. So if you have a silver competency, you want to activate your Azure credit, or if you want to activate your Microsoft Office 365 licenses, then there is a step-by-step how-to for each of those product groups. The other way that you can help run your organization and kind of add to that bottom line revenue is incentives and investments. So incentives are rewards that Microsoft sales or post-sales activities for Microsoft sales or post-sales activities. So if you're selling Office 365, if you're selling Azure, if you're increasing consumption, there are incentives, a percentage of those sales and that consumption dollar amount that you'll be paid as an incentive. An investment, on the other hand, is support for marketing events or specific proof of concept type engagements that you're doing with customers that has potential to become a bigger deal. Both of these have programs and offers that are out there that have certain requirements that you'll need to fulfill in order to be eligible. A competency might be one of them, or a certain amount of cloud sales might be one of them, or it might not be a cloud-related investment or incentive at all. But you do have to sign in to see what you're eligible for and what you're not. These programs may be ad hoc or they might be programmatic. And what I mean by that is there is no guarantee that a program is going to be repeated year over year, right? This is just meant to be the cherry on top. The funds that Microsoft provides its partners to incent a certain behavior. So if we want you to sell more Azure this year, or if there's a new competency coming up, then there might be an incentive or an investment that comes out for that particular product. So just bear that in mind so that you don't get dissatisfied when you're working towards getting those qualifications to get an incentive, but you realize that the next year that incentive program is no longer available. The third pillar was modernizing your sales and marketing. Now, there are three big partner marketing resources. Smart partner marketing builds on the best practices of successful cloud partners. So we take the best practices of partners who've already made it big and see how you can use that and apply it to your organization. Marketing SureStep is a US-based program that my colleague Deanna Ishak on the small and mid-market business group here in the US subsidiary. She runs these. There are office hours, there are workshops that give you customized advice for your organization on how to improve on marketing based on the resources that you have. Partner Marketing Center is the third tool that I was talking about. Now, there are assets, there are email templates and banners and web content that are syndicated that you can use and customize according to your needs. You can build a logo for the competency that you have and publish that on your website. You also have access to a free trial for LinkedIn Sales Navigator. You really don't get access to Sales Navigator as being a partner, but you can definitely try it out. And then there's referrals, and this is an engine that we're still building out. And you can build a partner profile, and that will be surfaced up based on the competency that you have when customers are looking for a particular solution, for a partner that provides a particular solution, and your name would come up, and that's how you would generate leads. Now, the fourth and last pillar was delivering customer lifetime value. If you haven't heard about Cloud Solution Provider Program or CSP yet, that is a licensing option that enables you to own the customer relationship but work with a provider to provide those services to a customer. So, for example, if you're a smaller partner, you have a set of customers and you can't quite provide 24/7 support. You can work with a distributor. You can get these licenses at a discounted rate and also sign up for a 24/7 support system, which will still be under your name. You still own the customer, but you're working with the provider that has a better infrastructure. And then there's FastTrack, and this helps you quickly onboard your customers to a product or to a cloud service or solution so that then you can add your value added services. The idea is that it should not take too long for customers to get onboarded, and that experience should be consistent across all of Microsoft's solutions and offerings. So FastTrack kind of gives you as the partner, so you still own all of that relationship, but it gives you all the resources and tools that you will need to onboard your customers quickly, and then you can have your value added services added on to that. So Mitra, you had a question about 100 Days to Cloud program and Cloud Enablement Desk, and what's the difference between that. So Cloud Enablement Desk has no requirements other than the fact that you just need to have an MPN ID. So if you're signed up on the Microsoft Partner Portal, you get an MPN ID, you have your organization enrolled, you'll have an MPN ID, and you can nominate yourself to the Cloud Enablement Desk. 100 Days to Cloud is the Cloud Ready program, which offers something similar and a little more, I guess, piecemeal guidance on how to build your cloud practice. They both have the same goal eventually. So the 100 Days to Cloud will also have Cloud Enablement Desk as one of your resources. So you could get started on both at the same time if you're already enrolled in the Cloud Ready program. Now, the next is the partner support options. So there are three pillars for partner support. So the first is to help you onboard, and with your onboarding experience with all the programmatic questions. In addition to the Cloud Enablement Desk, there is the Partner Frontline support. that you can just pick up a phone and call or contact via live chat on the portal. So if you have any questions that you cannot find an answer for, that would be the place to go. Call the partner frontline support or engage with them on via chat on the partner portal. The second pillar is to accelerate your growth and consumption. So technical pre-sales and deployment services has one-on-one consultations, has technical webinars, and has specific deep technical dives that they show you to help you make that cloud sale. So you get a certain number of advisory hours that you can use for technical consultation and help make that customer pitch, or if you have licensing questions, that would be the place to go. And in addition to that, you have Signature Cloud support. So this is technical support. If you need support with Office 365 and you have an Office 365 competency, you get unlimited Signature Cloud support. Or with an Action Pack subscription and with any competency, you get a certain number of product support incidents that you can use if you have, let's say, I cannot access Office 365 or Azure, there is something wrong with it, and in the way that I'm customizing it for my customer, I'm just stuck. Those would be technical roadblocks. In addition to that, there is optional paid support offerings as well. So, partner support community forums. It's a forum where partners can go in, ask questions, and agent responds to them. Chances are, if you have a question, someone else has already asked it. So go take a look, search for your question on there. That would be a quick fix. Phone-based support, if you have any question on where do I get X, Y, and Z, or I am looking for access to internal use licenses and I don't know how to do it, any of that program-related questions, 1-800-MPN-SOLVE if you have an Action Pack subscription or if you have a competency. Live chat support on the partner portal, that will also get you access to partner frontline support. Now, here is kind of an overview of what advisory hours you would have. So if you have an Action Pack subscription and you've made any cloud sale, you have 5 partner advisory hours. And Sumitra, if you have that question about dynamic sales and how do I go about licensing, this would be a good way to get in touch with them. So either contact partner frontline support or use your advisory hours to get one-on-one consultation to figure out what the best way to go about that licensing is. There's also a licensing page on the partner portal that has additional information and tons of resources that might be more specific to your scenario. Now, if you're an independent software vendor, an Action Pack subscription might be the best bet for you, a good starting point. There are ISV competencies that are coming up, but that won't be until later this year or probably next fiscal year in July. You can look for some announcement during Inspire, which is our partner conference that's coming up in July. And the 100 days to cloud is what we were talking about earlier to answer someone else's question. You can go take the Cloud Ready assessment, review the toolkit, and figure out where you stand in terms of being cloud market ready. And there are additional resources for you on the ISV hub as well. And if you haven't heard about it, recently we did Microsoft for Startups that was announced on February 14th. So with this, everyone who is a startup and wants to work with Microsoft gets a $200 Azure credit that you can get started on today. And there is additional benefits if you're working with a certain venture capital and if you're a startup. So you can go on startups.microsoft.com to get additional information on the Microsoft Reactor, on the Microsoft Scale-Up program, or Microsoft Ventures. And last but not the least, Microsoft Inspire in Las Vegas. So this is happening from July 15th through the 19th, and register today because the prices only keep going up. Any discount or any other offer that may come up, and it's sometimes doesn't, sometimes doesn't. The format of the conference is completely changing today, but the sooner you register, that is going to be your biggest discount because it's only going to keep going up and up and up. For example, it went up on March 1st. So if you had registered before, that's $19.95, and now it's $22.95. So any sort of upcoming, any sort of discount that you might get by any chance would still be like $50 to $100, which is still more than $19.95. So make sure that you register for it as soon as possible because there might be a price increase coming up. And there are different ways to connect with us. I talked about the newsletter in our initial survey. If you haven't subscribed for it, do that. This is your MPN 101 call, so you can check that off the list. Yammer is the other one that I'd like to really focus on. Make sure you connect with us on Yammer. We try our best to get answers to you. There are different groups, so post your questions accordingly. Incentives and Investments has their own group where you can ask your question and a subject matter expert there would answer your question. Again, Microsoft is a big organization, but we're trying our best to give you access to the different groups and the subject matter experts so you get your answers as quickly as possible. And in terms of covering referrals, that would be covered in more detail in the next call next week. On Wednesday, we have the subject matter experts from our worldwide group who actually own the program. I basically evangelize the program, but we'll have subject matter experts for referrals and Partner Center coming on the call next week at 9:30. And the one place for you to stay informed as a US partner, make sure you download this slide and have this handy. It has all the links that you might possibly need, starting from small and medium business resources to training and enablement resources, Inspire, and the community blog and profitability and other technical community resources as well. Also, we're bringing this MPN 101 on the road to Irvine and Los Angeles at the end of this month. So if you know of partners who are in the LA area, or if you are in the LA area, make sure you come, and you'll hear much of the same content, but you'll also have a marketing workshop that will follow this, and lunch will be provided. So if you are a local Southern California partner, make sure you attend this session, mark your calendar, and if you're not, then tell any of your friends and colleagues who might be in that area who might benefit from it. With that, I will open it up to any more questions. I'll still stick around if there are any more questions, but thank you so much for your time. I hope this was useful, and while I know I wasn't able to answer all of the questions, I hope I pointed you to the right places to at least get you started on finding that answer. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the week.